Lesson 11-2, Area of Triangles and Trapezoids. So when we have a triangle, we know that this is a shape with three sides, and you're always going to have a height in a triangle. The height is always identified by a right angle. Sometimes it is a right triangle. So you may have something that's like this with a right angle. That means that this dimension here, so actually the side of the triangle, is your height. So we need height because the formula for area of a triangle is area equals 1/2 base times height. So what that means is that area, which is the space on the inside, and then you take half the base, which is usually the side that the triangle is sitting on, and multiply that by the height. So let's say we had an example of a triangle that looked like this, and this was 10, and the height was 6.5. So you would write this as A equals 1/2 times 10 times 6.5. Two different ways you can look at this problem. You could first do the 1/2 and the 10, so that would mean half of 10 is 5, and then you multiply that by 6.5. So 5 times 6.5 would be 32.5. Or you could multiply the 10 and the 6.5 first, which would get you 65, and then you multiply by 1/2. Multiplying by 1/2 is the same thing as dividing by 2. So if you divide that by 2, you get 32.5. So there's two different ways, the first way and the second way, both of which will get you the same answer. Pause the video to try a few examples. So for the first example, we do 1/2 times 14 times 11. So half of 14 is 7, and then you multiply that by 11, and you get 77. For the next example, we have 1/2 times the base, which is 7.5, and the height is 8. Sometimes when we have a triangle that we are not able to draw the height within the triangle, we will draw it outside of the triangle. The height is always perpendicular to the base from the vertice. Well, we're not able to draw it from the vertice perpendicular to the base because it actually hangs over. So that's why the height for this one is on the outside of the triangle. So in this one, since we can't do 1/2 of 7.5, we could do half of the 8. With the associative property, you can move these around no matter what. You can regroup them together and you're still going to get the same answer. So half of 8 is 4, and then you take the 4 and you multiply that by 7.5, and you get 30 for the area. Now let's remember that a trapezoid has one set of parallel sides, and so it may look something like this. And the formula for an area of a trapezoid is 1/2 of the height times base 1 plus base 2. And what I mean by that is base 1 is typically the top side of the parallel, and base 2 is the bottom side. So think of base 1 and 2 as the parallel sides of the shape, times the height, which again would be identified by a right angle, and then divide that by 2. So let's look at this example together. We know that our formula is 1/2 height times base 1 plus base 2. We always have to do what's in the parentheses first. So we have 1/2, the height is 0.3. My base 1 is 1, and my base 2 is 0.5. So if we do what's in the parentheses first, we get 1/2 times 0.3 times 1.5. So just for easy math, let's just go ahead and multiply the 0.3 times the 1.5, and you get 1/2 of 0.45. So then we divide that by 2, and you're going to get approximately 0.2 for the area of the trapezoid. Sometimes we also see trapezoids that look like this, and we have our everything labeled. We just need to identify which one is the base 1, base 2, and the height. So my formula is 1/2 the height times base 1 plus base 2. My height in this case always is meeting at a 90 degrees, so it's actually the 4 here because that is the height that meets at a 90 degrees. So 1/2 times 4 times my base 1, 2.5, plus my base 2, which is 4.8. So we first want to add what's in the parentheses together. So we get 4.8 plus 2.5, and we get 7.3. So 1/2 of 4 times 7.3. Half of 4 is 2 times 7.3. We get 14.6, and it's meters squared. Remember that the units for area is always squared. Pause the video to complete the lesson review. Make sure you show me this lesson review for verification of watching this video.